Hey, what's up, guys? Coming back at you. The Cleveland Naps of the Chicago White Sox. Naps 2 games out at first, White Sox 3 games out. And the Naps are right at 500, and they've fought to get to this point. They were 6-9. White Sox 9-11. They were 9-8 at one point in time. And so we'll see what happens here. Josh Clark will lead this off. Rolls a 13 for a 14. That's a walk given up by Frank Smith. Bill Bradley up there next. Smith, 2-2. 192 batted against average, 1.80 ERA. I tell you, we were talking, some guy on Twitter was freaking out just the other day talking about how pitcher wins don't matter, and this is a good example of why. Smith has pitched well, and he hasn't looked so good in terms of the win column. Bill Bradley rolls a 26 for a 30, fly ball to left field. Doherty has that, one gone. Here's George Stovall. Stovall rolls a 34 for a 44. Here's the little E roll, and it is a 62. Fly ball center field this time. And Jones has that, 2 gone. Here's Napoleon, rolls 55 for a 7. Ground ball over to the third baseman, Tannehill, on to first. And we go to the bottom of the first. Patsy Doherty up there. He rolls a 32 for a 26. Ground ball to second, and Napoleon has it, on to first, 1 away. George Davis rolls a 53 for a 19, changes to a 20. That's going to be ground ball to Napoleon, goes on to first, 2 gone. Fielder Jones now rolls a 56 for a 30. Fly ball this time left field. Clark has it for the out. Top of the second we go pretty quick. Birmingham rolls a 31 for a 40, changed to 23. That's going to be an error on the catcher, Sullivan, as he grabbed that swinging bunt and threw it over the first baseman, Donahue's head. Puts Birmingham on at first. Still no hits in this game for either team. Here is Harry Bemis, hitting pretty poorly. He's going to bunt. He rolls a 62 for a 12, and that's a bad bunt over to the left side. Third baseman Tannehill pounces on it, throws over to Atz at second. They get the lead runner, 1 away. And here's George Paring, who also hits poorly, 164. Paring's rolls 24 for a 13. That's a strikeout for Smith. That's his 16th of the season. 2 away. Bill Hinchman. He rolls a 13 for a 14, and he will take his base on the walk. So runners on a first and second, and it is Addy Joss. Josh rolls a 13 for a 23, and that's going to be a ball, and that will get Frank Smith ejected from the game. How about that for disputing the umpire's decision? So right away, we are going to the bullpen for Chicago, and the question is, who has a good Q rating? Anybody? Well, I mean, we could do Ed Walsh. We're not going to do that. You know, in real life, that's probably what they would do. Instead, it's probably going to be Nick Altrock who we're going to put in there. Much, much different type of pitcher. Altrock comes into this game in the top of the second inning, again against Jaws. The roll now 43 for a 29. Comebacker over to Altrock, who throws to first, and we go to the bottom of the second. So Smith has not allowed a base hit at all and has to be taken out early because of fighting with the umpire. Donahue now, 44 the roll. Pop up over to the left side. Bradley's got it, 1 gone. Jake Adds now, his roll 44 for a 9. That's a strikeout, 2 gone. Here's Ed Hahn, first strikeout for Joss, his 26th of the season. 51 is the roll for Hahn, and that's another strikeout. Number 2 of the game for Joss. We go to the top of the third, and it is Clark again. Here comes Josh. Rolls a 15 for an 11. There is the first hit of the ball game, followed up by the first steal of the game. Nobody out, and Bradley's going to bunt. He rolls a 64 for a 32. Good bunt over to the right side. Donahue flips that over to Davis. There you are, covering at the bag. And Stovall comes up. Infield comes in. Stovall will hit away. Rolls a 32 for a 26, and that is a ground ball over to second. Davis throws to Sullivan at home, and he goes back to Tannehill, and they get the runner in a rundown. Stovall ends up on a second base on that fielder's choice. 2 gone, and here is Napoleon. So the score is still 0-0. And Napoleon rolls a 53 for a 19. He's hit by the pitch and takes his base. And here is Birmingham. He rolls a 12 for a 25. There's a little E. It's a 12. And so that changes it to 16. And that's going to be an error on the center fielder as he drops that one. 1 run scores. Then Jones throws over to third base and gets Tannehill for the third out. And we go to the bottom of the third inning. So 1-0 now Naps. And you talk about your unearned runs. That was a real type of unearned run. 2 errors so far in Chicago, and here is Billy Sullivan. He rolls a 21 for a 30. Fly ball to left field. Clark has it. 1 away. Tannehill now. 63 for a 30, and it's Clark again. 2 gone. Altrock rolls a 23 for a 13 and strikes out. We go to the top of the fourth. Bemis leads this off for Cleveland. 1-0 lead. He rolls a 54 for a 45. Little E roll is a 55. It's a fly ball right field, and Hahn has that for the out, 1 away. Paring now. Rolls a 32 for a 26. It's going to be grounder over to Davis, who goes to first. 2 gone. Hinchman now rolls a 35 for a 40. Changed to 39. That's a strike. Next roll is a 25 for a 9. Pop up left side, and it's going to be Tannehill under that for the out. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Addie Joss has struck out 3 so far. 28 strikeouts this season. He's facing Patsy Doherty. Rolls a 56 for a 34. As a pop up over to the left side. Pairing has that for the out. 1 away. George Davis rolls a 21 for a 30. Fly ball left field. It's going to be Clark. 2 gone. And Jones, Fielder Jones, rolls a 15 for an 11. That's a base hit. Finally hit off of Joss, and Jones then steals second. 1 hit for each team. Jiggs Donahue up there now. 2 outs, bottom of the fourth. The roll is a 43 for a 29. That's a ground ball right side. Stovall has it, flips over to Josh covering at the bag. And we go to the top of the fifth, and here comes Addie Joss, and this is a fast-moving game. Only 2 hits so far. Joss hitting 143. Pitcher, of course, rolls a 56 for a 34. Pop-up right side, or left side, sorry. Atz has that for the out. 1 away. Josh Clark now rolls a 53 for a 15, changed to 22. That's a ground ball over to the right side. Donahue as it flips over to Altrock covering at the bag. 2 gone. Bradley rolls a 15 for an 11. That's a single to left, and then he gets the stolen base. So hit number 2 for the Naps, number 3 of this game. And here's Stovall. He rolls a 26 for a 27. That's going to be over to Tannehill. Goes on to first base, and we go on to the bottom of the fifth. Jake Atz up there rolls a 26 for a 32. That's right field, the fly ball over to Hinchman. 1 gone. Ed Hahn with a 16 for a 26 ground ball to Napoleon. He goes to first. 2 away. And Sullivan with a 65 for a 35. That's a pop foul over to Stovall. First baseman has that. We go to the top of the sixth now, and here is Napoleon. Rolls a 51 for an 8, and there's a base hit to left center field. Altrock starting to give him up, and that'll bring up Birmingham with Napoleon on at first. And he rolls a 22 for an 8. Now there's runners on at first and second. That'll bring up Harry Bemis with the 143 average. He rolls a 14 for a 43. Fly ball left field. Doherty's there. 1 gone. George Pairing now. Runners on at first and second. 1 out. Rolls a 61 for a 32. That'll be a fly ball to the other way over to Hahn in right. He's got that for the out. 2 gone. And Bill Hinchman's up. He rolls a 55 for an 8. That's going to be a single. Scores 1, and then Hinchman tries to steal second and is caught stealing with Addie Joss up there. And so we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-0 now Cleveland. And it's Lee Tannehill to lead this off for the White Sox, and then probably a pinch hitter. Tannehill rolls a 61 for a 32. Fly ball right field, and Hinchman's got that. 1 away. Brings up Altrock in his spot, and here comes the pinch hitter. I think it's going to be Anderson, and it is. So John Anderson comes into this. 17 plate appearances so far this season. He's started a couple games. He rolls a 44 for an 8. That's going to be a ground ball over to short. It's Pairing. There he is, who has it. Goes on to first. 2 away. Patsy Doherty now rolls an 11 for a 0. And the next roll is a 21 for a 6. It's going to be a double to right center field, and that'll bring up George Davis. So the runner on at second base, Doherty at second. 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. Ooh, and the roll is a 66 for a 0. Next roll is a 24 for an 11. That's a single, scores 1, and Davis then with the stolen base. That makes this a 2-1 ball game. That'll bring up Fielder Jones. So 2-1 to the score, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. And the roll 41 for a 28, ground ball, shortstop, and once again it's Pairing who makes that play on to first for the out. And it's going to be Moxie Manuel here. Manuel, I guess it is. Moxie Manuel. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I wasn't around in 1908. I don't know. Faces Addie Joss leading off the 7th. Josh rolls a 63 for a 13 and strikes out. Good way for Moxie to start this one. 1 away. Here's Clark. Clark rolls a 24 for a 13. 2 strikeouts now for Moxie. Up now, Bradley rolls a 55 for an 8. That's going to be a fly ball center field, and Jones has that for the out. Here we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Donahue is the first batter. He rolls a 51 for a 14. That'll be 2 balls from Joss. Next one's a 65 for a 35, but the little E is there. It's a 24 just out of the range. Pop up over to the left side. Bradley's got it. 1 away. Jake Atz now. He rolls a 66 for a 0. Next is a 64 for a 6. Double to right center field, and that'll bring up Ed Hahn. Hahn up there now. Atz is the runner over on second. 206 is Hahn's average. We know about the hitless wonders. Oh, and not hitless wonders anymore. There's a 11 for a 0. and then a 12 for an 11. So that's going to be a single, and we'll score the runner. That ties the ball game. So we are tied at 2 apiece here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And this is a brand new ball game, really. That was a really, really good piece of hitting there by Hahn. And so 2-2 now the score. Here is Billy Sullivan with the runner on at second, still only 1 out. Addy Joss has pitched well, but not quite well enough. Sullivan rolls a 14 for a 43. Here's the little lead. It's a 46 out of the range. That's a fly ball over to left field. Clark has that for the out, 2 away. Here's Tannehill. Lee up there rolls a 24 for a 13 and strikes out. We go to the top of the 8th inning now. 2-2 game, and this is George Stovall coming up. He rolls a 13 for a 37, changed to 23. That's going to be another error on Sullivan as he can't field that one cleanly. Stovall makes it to first on the swinging bunt. That brings up Napoleon, and here's the hit and run. Rolls a 34 for a 44, single to right center field. Stovall goes to third, and here's Joe Birmingham. The infield comes in. Birmingham going to swing away. And the roll is a 26 for a 30 over to left field, and Doherty has that one for the out, and that makes this a 3-2 ball game. And up next is going to be Bemis. So 3-2 the score now, and the Indians have, or the Naps rather, have come back very, very quickly, and that brings up Harry Bemis. Bemis, now the hitter, number 6 hitter, with Napoleon on at first, 3-2 lead. Rolls a 26 for a 27. That's going to be a ground ball to third. Tannehill goes to second for the force on Napoleon, so he goes over to Davis, and now Bemis is the runner on at first, 2 away, and here's Pearing. He rolls a 45 for a 14. That's going to be a walk by Moxie. So 2 on, 2 outs, top of the 8th, 3-2 ball game. It's Bill Hinchman. He rolls a 35 for a 40, changed to 38. That's going to be a ground ball over to the third baseman, Tannehill, who flips that one over to the second baseman, Davis. But the runner over on second base is going to be injured on that one. So who was the runner on second? Let's see if we can figure this out. Runner on first injures. Thanks. It's going to be Pearing. So Pearing ends up with the injury. We need to know this. It would be nice if the game would remind me of this so that I can make the necessary change. It's going to be Rabid Nil who comes in. He's going to be the shortstop. And so we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Moxie Manuel is not going to lead this off. We're going to use a pinch hitter for him. And we might as well use a pitcher is what I'm thinking. I think Doc White is going to be called here. Yeah, we're going to use Doc White. He's the best hitter on the bench. And White rolls a 14 for a 43. Next rolls a 54. So it's a fly ball over to Clark in left field, 1 away. And here's Patsy Doherty. Rolls a 43 for a 29. Comebacker to Addy Joss, 2 gone. Here's Davis. Davis rolls a 51 for a 9. That's a single, but then he's caught stealing. So we go to the top of the 9th inning. White is actually not going to be the pitcher. It's going to be Frank Owen. So Owen comes into this ball game. He has 33 innings pitched, 1.91 ERA, 1-3 on the season. I think he started a couple of games, and here is Joss. Joss rolls an 11 for a 0. And a 24 for a 6 is a double to right center field, and that'll bring up Josh Clark with the runner on at second base. Joss is not fast, and there's a 56 for a 34, and here's the little E-roll. It's a 13. It's changed to a 22. It's a bad pickoff move there by Owen, and Joss makes it over to third base, even though he's not fast. And so the infield comes in against Clark. The roll now is 65 for a 35. That's going to be a pop-up over to Atz, a shortstop for the first out. And up is Bill Bradley, infield in again. And the roll's a 33 for a 7. There's a single to right field that scores the run, and we go on to George Stovall. So 4-2 now Naps, top of the 9th. Stovall rolls a 13 for a 37, changed to 41. And the batter, Stovall, is safe at first. Bradley ends up being thrown out. It's going to be Atz to Davis, and Bradley will have to come out of this game as well. So they're dropping like flies. LeJoey now, Napoleon, rolls a 33 for a 0 with Stovall on at first, and then a 16 for an 11. That'll be a base hit. Stovall goes to third. Napoleon steals the base. And here's Birmingham now, 2 outs, top of the 9th. He rolls a 16 for a 28. Ground ball over to shortstop, and that's Atz who throws to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the 9th, and Bradley will need a replacement. So we've got a number of players injured in this game. This has been kind of an ugly one. See if we have a third baseman somewhere here. This is the part that I hate. All right. All right. I tell you, there's a couple of players who can't play third. That's for sure. Nobody on this team can play third. So what's going to happen in this case, I'm just going to take a quick look here at the pitchers and just make 100% sure that we don't have a potential third baseman leaking here or lurking here somewhere. We don't. So it's going to be Charlie Hickman who will come in. So this can work. Yes, he is out of position. They'll give him a third base too. So that's just the way it is. He's got to hope and pray that they don't hit one over his way. Fielder Jones now bottom of the ninth inning, down by 2, 42 the score. Jones rolls a 63 for a 31, fly ball to Birmingham, one away. Now Donahue. It's a 53 for a 20, changed to 22. That's a ground ball over to Stovall at first, flips over to Joss covering, 2 gone. Here's Atz. And it's a 42 for a 13, and that does it. Strikeout number 5 for Joss. And Cleveland's won this one 4-2. Pretty quick game. 9 hits for Cleveland, 6 for the White Sox. And Cleveland improves to 10-9. White Sox now going to 9-12. So Cleveland continues to improve, and the White Sox go in the wrong direction. Hope you enjoyed this one. Talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.